a good business idea again. I keep them coming. I'll write them down because people be stealing them. I hope you can hear me well. It's Lavera here in Chicago, Daily Divine Guidance 9774. Um, all things God. He is everything. And I didn't feel like putting them on my head, so I just do this up there. I don't know. All right. So we were talking about the Haman Act. All right. We have gone through the first part of Esther. We're still there. And now we got this little shady character doing shady stuff. Let's see if we can get another one. I like the full picture, but you can't really see it. Hold on. There you go. Oh, that's good. Hey now. Better. Now, so we talked about the beginning where Esther, the first chapter, speaks about um, King Ahasuerus having this big party for 180 days. Little thug. Party animal. And he decided that somewhere along the way, him and all of the kings and all of the higher up people in his kingdom wanted to party. And the queen said no. She told him no. The king wanted to party. Queen said no, because he wanted her to get on the pole for everybody with just her crown on. She said hell to the no. She did. I'm not wearing my tiara crown with just a who? I'm not doing my booty for this duty, baby. Yeah. Yeah, no beauty. No booty, just beauty. You're not getting me on the pole. Come on down, Adame. You not getting me on the pole. No, thank you. Yes, she did. She stood there and she was a true queen and she said, no, she meant it. And so he's upset. All the men in the palace are upset and they're trying to pretend like, well, when we say something, you can have your wife. They're drunk. They're drunk as a skunk, acting a fool. Want to play pimp daddy. And little mama said, you ain't no pimp and I ain't no prostitute. I don't get on poles. We're not talking about anybody. We're talking about the story. We're not having it. So that's the first chapter. So they make a whole decree, drunk. When we say something in this kingdom, all the king's women and all the king's hoes gotta jump. Don't sniff, don't use your nose, don't try and put no common sense to it. Do what we said. And it was like, oh, watch Vashti. She getting out of here. You want to get out of here too? So that's the true queen. We already honored little sister. God bless you, mom. You did the thing. Now again, those that did get on the pole or whatever, we're not talking about you. God is a redeemer. He's a keeper. He's a wonder worker. He's a way maker. He will take care of you. Talk to him, okay? But yeah, she left. And so the Mumikins were like, well, what are we going to do? Vashti has not only wronged the king, but also the princes and all the people by not coming down to get on the pole. Is that really a crime? That she wanted to keep her dignity? Oh my God. So she left. They put her out. And he started thinking about it. And someone suggested that he now have all these little virgins come through and do the little, shenanigan to be the next queen. So they give them a year-long sabbatical, I guess you call it, where they go and they cleanse and do bathing in myrrh and frankincense or something. And so they do that. And he chose Esther in this thing. Okay, so let's see. Vashti shall come no more before the king, and let the king give her royal position to another who is better than she. When the king's decree, which he will make, is proclaimed throughout all of this empire, for it is great, all wives will honor their husbands, both great and small. And the reply pleased the king and the princes. Remember, they were drunk doing this foolishness, and no one told them no. So, according to the word of the Memucan, whatever it is, of Memucan, a person, that's their name, I believe. Then he sent letters to all the king's provinces, to every province in its own script, letting everybody know in their own language that if a man says something, you better jump. All right. So, the chapter 2 talks about Esther becoming queen. They have this big ball, like a Cinderella ball, and they're all gathering, and got these virgins out there. Hey, let the virgins come, the beautiful young virgins come and be sought for the king, and let the king appoint officers in all the provinces to go and gather these women, these beautiful virgins, to Shushan, the citadel, into the women's quarters, and give them into the custody of, or the care of, I say Haggai, Hejay, I don't know, the king's eunuch, custodian of the women, and let the beauty preparations begin. Okay? So they did that in 2. And again, Esther is a young girl. She's not interested in this shenanigan stuff, but her family member, Mordecai, kind of coaches her to go and get involved in this Cinderella ball. Okay? Gives her a few tips. She gets in, and he gives her, you can have whatever you want, the treatment. You can have whatever you like. He did. He told her, baby, whatever, okay? Yeah, you got it, okay? So he gave her some advice, like I said, and she took it. And she obtained the favor of the king. So while doing that, going into the 19th verse, we spoke about how Mordecai discovers a plot of the people at the door that wanted to kill the king, Ahasuerus. So Mordecai gives word to King Esther. Esther informs the king in Mordecai's name. This inquiry was made into the matter. It was confirmed, and both were hung at the gallows, and it was written in the book of the Chronicles in the presence of the king. So it was recorded. Now we're going into 3, where I think it's Haman, but I say Haman's conspiracy was against the Jews. So in the background, with all of this going on, you got this little character here that's not a big deal, and apparently not very bright. Okay, just a hateful little troll here. And he's basically mad. He doesn't like the Jews for no apparent reason, except he's just hateful. I can't see anywhere here. That's why we're kind of reading through thoroughly to see what is this man's problem. But after these things, after the all of this stuff happened, King Ahasuerus is promoting Haman. He promoted Haman, the son of Hammedatha, and the Agagite, and advanced him and set him to sit above the princes who were with him. And all the king's servants who were within the king's gates bowed and paid homage to Aman, which is like the right hand man in this case. And it seems like the king had commanded concerning him that Mordecai should also bow. Mordecai was like, I'm not bowing to this one. Okay. Mordecai would not bow or pay homage because he was a bad guy. And I guess Haman knew that. I mean, Mordecai knew. So anyway, the king's servants who were within the king's gates said to Mordecai, why do you transgress the king's commands? He said that we all should bow to Haman. Now Haman is loving this because he's a demon. Haman is sitting there like, yeah, why are you not bowing? I mean, what's your plot? What's your plan? What we doing? Right? He's plotting to kill all the Jews, like I said. So Mordecai, I guess, can sense that this man doesn't like him. or that he has this plot against all the Jews, which a lot of people seemingly are aware of. And Haman is a Jew, so it's like, pay homage to this murderer that's trying to kill my lineage, my people. He didn't say that. I'm just saying it's in the back of my head. So he wouldn't pay homage to him who were within the king's gate, said to Mordecai, why do you transgress? This was the king's homage. And then the king's servant who were within the king's gate said to Mordecai, why do you transgress? Okay. Now it happened when they spoke to him daily, and he would not listen to them, that they told it to Haman, to see whether Mordecai's words would stand. For Mordecai had told them that he was a Jew. When Haman saw that Mordecai did not bow or pay homage, Haman was filled with wrath, pride. You can't make anybody worship you. But you got these people that are so, like, if you don't worship me, you just get, wow. It's sad. All right. But he disdained to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had told him of the people of Mordecai, which were Jews. Instead, Haman sought to destroy all the Jews who were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, the people of Mordecai. You want to kill my family? All of the people? The Jews, really? No, we're not friends. All right. So in the first month, which is the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast that is the lot, before Haman, to determine the day and month until it fell on the 5th month, which is the month of Adar. However, with all of that said, again, Haman was plotting to kill all of these people, and he had all these little plots in the background, but he had one big one, and that was to get to the king, because he had become the right-hand man, which is what this story is talking about. He had just been ordained basically to be over everybody and right next to the king. And he was plotting to kill all these people. And so Haman wanted to put in a whole decree to be written that the Jews be destroyed. And he will pay 10,000 talents of silver into the hands of those who did the work, to bring it into the king's treasuries. So the king took his signet ring from his hand and gave it to Haman, the son of, the enemy of the Jews. And the king said to Haman, the money and the people are given to you to do with them. Now remember, all these people are plotting on this king. The men at the door, Haman wants to take his place. Haman wants to be the right-hand man because he wants to use him as if he's the real king. So him having this Jewish exile or whatever it is, this massacre happen, he wants to be in the king's ear, like, yeah, we should take all of them out. I mean, what are they good for? Huh? That is what he's doing. So he's trying to get a decree that all of these people be taken out. Now, he didn't like anybody, but for whatever reason, he's really taking his anger out on the Jews. And I hate to think it's just simply because Mordecai, being a good guy, knowing Haman is a demon, he did not honor him, and this cannot be the reason why he wants all these people gone. But he's a hateful person, whatever it comes to. This could be the simple reason. Just because Mordecai didn't bow down, I guess he figured Mordecai represented the whole group. Let's just take them out. Really? And so he has gotten permission from the king to make a decree that all these people be taken out for silver. Anybody, bounty hunters, whoever can get these people. Okay, sick. Then the king's scribes were called on the 13th day of the first month, and the decree was written according to all that Haman commanded, to the king's satraps, to the governors who were over each province, to the officials of all people, to every province according to its script, and to every people in their language. In all the name of King Ahasuerus it is written, and sealed with the king's signet ring. And the letters were sent by carriers to all the king's provinces to destroy, kill, and to annihilate all the Jews. This one right here. Are you serious? Yeah, that one. Yeah, him. Really? Now, that's not his face. It's just a picture I pulled up. Look at his face. He's plotting. See, he has his pen, and he's like, yeah, this group here, we're going to take them out. Oh, boy. King's satraps. Okay. So this is the 12th verse of the 3rd chapter in Esther. Esther, the 3rd chapter, 12th verse. This is C. In the name of King Ahasuerus it is written, and sealed with the king's signet ring, and the letters were sent by couriers into all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and to annihilate all the Jews. Both young and old, little children and women. And one day, on the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, and to plunder their possessions. A copy of the document was to be issued as law in every province, being published for all people, that they should be ready for that day. Now, let me say this. This is a woman that was chosen as a queen, a first lady, whatever you want to call it. And it was God that, again, we're talking about queendomship. Okay? Very important. This was God that this lady was put in position to have and be such a queen and be bold and brave enough to talk to her husband, because as you can tell, he has a boys club. And the boys club is out to control. Okay? They're doing any and everything with any and everybody. They're doing a lot. Okay? They're doing a lot. And they are causing people to lose their lives. And no one's there to protect these people. They're very vulnerable, young and old, babies too. Serious? Are you serious? Right? Yeah, they're serious. So what do you do? So as Mordecai had mentioned, who knows, go and pursue this position as the king's wife. He's looking for a wife. Pursue it. Who knows? Maybe it is God that chooses you for such a time as this. This is a critical time for a woman to speak up and talk to her husband. And remember, you just can't walk up on this king. I don't care if you are the wife. You had to kind of, get in, not make an appointment, but don't just. But for whatever reason, he really felt like Esther was different from the others. He really gave her more power than most. Again, it doesn't seem they reverence women a lot, but this one, she was really dear to him. So for her to speak up and say, her husband really didn't know she was a Jew. He did not know she was Jewish. Okay. So for her to speak up was very brave, because if there's a decree out and he agreed to it thanks to Haman or Haman, whatever his name is, she could be killed. She could be killed and put out of the province and all that. But I believe, at least in a movie I watched, she did tell him, I'm a Jew and please save our people. And the king was like, oh, you're what? And for a minute, I think in this movie, he was kind of like appalled. Like, don't we have a decree against you people? Like, I don't know what Haman said, which is why I'm reading through this. But there was a real dislike, a deep hatred for the children, the Jews, to be annihilated, both young and old, little children, women. And one day, on the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, and to plunder their possessions. And this copy was published for all people in every language, that they should be ready for that day. The couriers went out, hastened by the king's command, and the decree was declared in Shushan, the citadel. So the king and Haman sat down to drink, to celebrate these people's death. Really? But the city of Shushan was perplexed. Like, what? So I guess we can go into the fourth chapter, guys. This is a bit slow now. I guess people are getting off work and hustle and bustle, but we're still here. We're still here. Um, we're going to come back and we're going to see how Esther steps in again to be this queen that we are acknowledging today to speak up to her husband when she's also a Jew. But she was brave enough to say, aha, wait, now, hold on. I would like to speak with you. And we'll talk about that in the next video. Thank you guys for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more because we have a lot more here. There's Big Book and a lot of world. Okay. So until next time, thank you for joining me. We'll be right back. So stay tuned. Bye for now. Look at that one. Look at him. Amazing.